Scene 1. Take 1. And
Action! Hello, duelists. Tombox and Nishi here. Oh man, I interrupted you right there, didn't I?
Okay, don't worry.
And today we are giving our ban list prediction for March or April of 2016.
Somewhere around there. Yeah, we just had the adjustment to the ban list, and I'm sure most of you guys saw a video about that last week. But we wanted to come at you guys with a prediction about what we think is going to happen about a month or two from now.
I got my list right here.
And I have mine right here. So
Now, you guys requested this. Saw the feedback. Yeah, you wanted a list. So here we go. We're giving you one. Luckily, Konami already did half the work for us.
Yeah. But just be warned, my approach is very different from Tombox's.
Actually,
so.
I think we were arguing a bit before this started.
Yeah,
so...
but it's just because Tombox's list is wrong, and mine's a lot better. So I mean, there's that.
Clearly, you're delusional. Anyways, yes. So let's start off by talking about stuff that are banned. Okay,
Sure.
so we already know the first three things that are banned.
Right.
Ptolemaeus, Plushfire, and
Damage Juggler.
Damage Juggler.
Yeah.
Now, do you think all three of these will move forward?
I think all three can stay banned. I think they'll stay banned. Good place for them. I don't want Ptolemaeus back. I don't think that rank 4 decks should have access to cards like Pleiades, Durandal, and Infinity.
Infinity was pretty broken.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was one of the reasons why like those opening turn 1 boards were so unbreakable. It's because you put that plus Rafflesia, I don't know, Nightmare, Dweller,
any kind of
any kind of
like,
basically
it was
one
ridiculous.
of those. And then it's like boom, you're screwed.
Damage Juggler had to go. Damage Juggler did way too much. It blocked Wavering Eyes. You could pitch it to block any damage, and you could banish it to search like any Perform Age. It was a ridiculous card.
It killed off legitimate like Chain Burn decks.
Yeah, but do you really want Chain Burn decks?
Okay, sure. Chain Burn's a bit degenerate, but let's be honest. It killed off burn decks completely. All burn decks because that card existed, and it was meta, so no burn decks could play.
Right.
Like, remember what happened when people made Chicken Rays burn?
Yeah,
but
and
then
you damage Juggler.
You damage
Juggler.
Juggler.
Skid on that.
Yeah, exactly. So that was pretty bad.
Yeah,
Plushfire.
And then Plushfire, I think Plushfire can stay banned too.
See, I actually agree with all of Kenny's points because they're just not that healthy for the game.
No, I mean, I think there's a case to be made for Plushfire because it can't summon out Damage Juggler anymore.
Yeah.
But I think that Trick Clown and Hat Trick are still both very good cards, especially Trick Clown coming off.
And I think getting free Mirror Conductors can screw over Infernoids really badly. Like, put that thing in defense mode. They have to summon a boss monster to kill you now.
Absolutely.
That's pretty bad. Okay, but for actual new cards,
our bans. What do you have?
I only have one card to get banned, and that's Life Equalizer. You might be wondering why out of like all the plush, like not Plushfire, but like out of all the burn based cards, like there's Magical Explosion, there's
Blasting the Ruins.
Blasting the Ruins. There's also that Royal Magical Library. Why am I not hitting those? Life Equalizer is like that pinnacle piece that always lets you get killed. And puts you to 3k, puts you in range. And I don't see that card being a very skillful card.
Fair enough.
And like, the only time you would just make your life point difference that high is if you're actually playing a burn-based deck.
You're intending to,
Yeah, you're intending to FTK someone, and why don't you just take that out? Like, what are you going to do with a Magical Explosion? If you get Magical Explosion and outside of Life Equalizer, you deserve to die.
Yeah, you probably deserve the loss there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's my reasoning.
For me, the only forbidden card I have is Royal Magical Library. I don't like Royal Magical Library as a card. I think it promotes too many degenerate decks. Like, I mean, like decks will play Toon Table of Contents or something stupid like that, right?
That's like a lot of this is to answer like the recently topped Monarch FTK burn.
I think that's what both of us were thinking.
Yeah,
about going
exactly.
Into this. So if you guys haven't seen it, it's a Monarch deck that plays very much like Chicken Game, right? But
more consistent.
Yeah,
way more consistent.
It's ridiculous.
I actually tried the list out and just to see what it would do. I just play. Obviously, I wasn't playing rank because that would be really degenerate to people. But I tried it on.
No one would like you.
No one would like me. I was like MST Tombox playing FTKs, playing by himself. No, I tried it out. It was very consistent. All the draw card engine being able to search itself and like recur itself out of the graveyard always made your trade-ins live, cards from the sky live. Everything was live. There was no time where I felt like I was gonna brick.
There was any.
I didn't feel any. I actually drew Royal Magical Library halfway into the combo, and then I kept on going afterwards. I was like, okay, it's not that bad.
No, but I think the deck definitely needs to be stopped at least a little bit. So.
FTKs are the most unhealthy thing for the game, more so than tier 0 decks.
Absolutely, I think so.
If things don't have interaction, it's bad.
Yeah.
End of story.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
No, that's my only.
Okay, these are our bans. I guess we hate FTK burns.
Yeah.
So we're on the same page there. Okay, on to limited.
All right.
You start this off.
All right, I'm gonna start with emergency teleport. So I do think that Cosmo is an absolutely broken deck right now. I think that by limiting emergency teleport, we can take a bit of a hit to Cosmo. We're not hitting any of the Cosmo specific cards, right? Because I think the Cosmo cards in and of themselves are relatively fair. But I think that the ability
Dark Destroyer is fair.
I don't care about Dark Destroyer.
Okay.
But I think that the ability
outs.
the ability there are outs to Dark Destroyer, right? You have Erebus, you have Ignis or whatever. But I think that the ability to drop an E-Telly and summon a Farm Girl in the middle of the battle phase and then poke with the Farm Girl and then tag it out and then summon this guy you search for, I think that's a pretty broken effect.
Yeah, being able to OTK with basically it's a 2-card OTK that doesn't require any sort of commitment at all. And that's pretty broken, yeah?
Yeah, no, the other thing I think is that with Super Quantums coming out in Wing Raiders, I think that it's a boost for Monarchs, and I think Monarchs are already quite a strong deck. I don't want to give Monarchs too much power. I don't want them to abuse Emergency Teleport and the Super Quantums and Kuraz.
Okay, that's fair point. I actually would also like to put E-Telly at 1. I agree with you in that a lot of points. Cosmos, I don't like getting hit by Farm Girl. Say you even with Damage Juggler, say you block the first one.
Yeah,
they go into the second one.
Yeah, they can still tag.
And then you're like,
it's ridiculous.
What? Okay, so that was pretty bad. And Super Quantum, I'm not too gay. About the Super Quantum point, though, I am not too sure if Konami wants to let you abuse it first before they take it away. OCG is obviously playing it right now.
Right.
And it's literally on par right beside Peppy. Like, Peppy right now is it's not Peppy, it's Draco Pals.
Draco Pals.
And, of course, it's very strong because they have Monkey Board Skull Combat 3, so they got the full Ignister play and everything going.
Yeah.
And Super Quantum Monarchs is just still, like, hammering them down, not letting them be tier 0.
Right.
So, that could be some insight for what's going to happen to TCG. I mean, they only run, like, 2-3 Super Quantum cards, and that's it. And they just loot themselves.
I think they play 1 blue and 2 red.
Yeah, 1 blue, 2 red. Yeah, and they just loot themselves, and then it's one of the most consistent things because red is like a Cyber Dragon, just jumps out, and then blue searches a card out of the deck.
Yeah.
So basically, very simple mechanics that make the deck really strong.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Other limits. Next up, I have Dark Magician of Chaos. I think Dark Magician of Chaos got the errata in the Yugi's Legendary decks. So it doesn't add the spell card until the end phase. I'd like to see the card at 1.
A 1? Yeah, I think that's what Konami always do. Does. Because anytime they errata something, they put it at 1, and then if they see that it has no impact whatsoever, it goes back to 3.
Well, not always, because I mean cards like Ring of Destruction still at 1. But everything, like Ring of Destruction.
But Ring of Destruction does have a serious impact. If you get hit by it, you're still losing. It's a free monster that you lose.
But like Ring of Destruction, Trishula, Dark Strike Fighter, they all go to 1 before they can go past.
Dark Strike Fighter is whatever because of the errata, so no one really cares about him.
So I think DMOC, it could go to 3, but I think it has to go to 1 first. Right?
Experimental phase.
Yeah.
For me, I have Instant Fusion going to 1.
Instant Fusion. Okay.
So my reasoning behind that is, if you guys don't know how crucial Instant Fusion is to decks like Mermail, holy crap,
absolutely.
Instant Fusion and Neptibus is an instant OTK.
Sure.
And surprisingly, you can actually do it with nothing else in hand, and you're gonna be able to push for so much damage.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
I don't want to hit Norden.
No. Yeah.
I don't want to hit him now.
Yeah.
I don't think he's really good.
He is good.
He's good for tethering out maybe Synchro, sometimes Synchros, if you have a tuner in the graveyard, but sometimes you can also make rank 4s. Generically, he's made for rank 4s.
Right.
What kind of rank 4 do we make now? I mean, if your opponent is... Dweller's really good.
Dweller's good.
Dweller's one of the best things to make with him, but aside from, most of the rank 4s are just utility now.
Right.
There's no rank 4 that's super strong except for I would say Trapeze, but that you can't make it with him.
Yeah.
And it's just Castells, maybe 101, Dweller,
maybe Diamond Direwolf.
Like,
Maybe
I don't mind. Like, sure, one card, you pay 1,000 life, you get these guys
Right.
out, and that's it.
But like I actually okay, so I don't touch Instant Fusion or Norden at all on my list. With the banning of Ptolemaeus, I don't really see it as being necessary. I don't think that there's a reason for us to like look at either Instant Fusion or Norden and say these cards have to go, right? Like in the OCG, they still had Ptolemaeus. They banned Ptolemaeus and Norden at the same time, so I guess it was more just an extra precaution. But I don't really see there being much of a problem with either of these cards in the game right now.
I just think giving Mermails that much of an OTK power is a bit too much. I mean, I played against it a lot. Maybe I'm a little biased on that because I played against Corbin so much in their practice rounds, and it's like Instant Fusion. You see Instant Fusion, you're like, oh my god, I'm about to die.
Yeah.
And you're gonna realize that your graveyard's always gonna be stunned because there's a Dweller that always tags with it, and then like it's just over the top strong.
Yeah.
And that is just infinite pluses at the end of the day.
The other thing is, I don't want Instant Fusion at 1 because I think that by putting it at 1, you're turning it into a Saki card.
It is a Saki card though.
Like look at 6 Cents or like
6 Cents got E-banned when it came out.
No, it didn't get E-banned. It got E-limited. And then got banned on the next ban list.
It was still
like,
there.
When a card goes to 1 like that, like Soul Charge, it becomes you draw that card like you're a sack. Honestly, I'd rather have Instant Fusion banned or Norden banned.
But with triple Instant Fusion right now, it limits the way that people build Mermail decks. It actually just limits them to that explosive 1 or 2 turns, and that's the end of the deck. Whereas Mermails was one of the grindiest decks back then.
It was, yeah.
And even now it can still grind. It's just that no one wants to do the grinding build because I can play triple Instant Fusion and kill you.
Why grind when you can OTK?
Yeah, why grind when you OTK? Even if your OTK only lasts for like 1 or 2 turns.
Right.
And then the rest of the deck is so dead.
Alright, so next up for limited cards, I have Anti-Spell Fragrance.
Really, Anti-Spell. That's the one card that everyone that doesn't play Pendulum is going to say, like, no! Unless they play like a lot of spells.
Yeah. No, but Monarchs don't play Anti-Spell Fragrance. But
they can't.
Yeah. No, but I think Anti-Spell Fragrance because it's an anti-pendulum card.
Okay.
And I think that as we move, like pendulums are obviously the next big thing, right? Like we're getting more just as we get more and more pendulum decks, I think that Anti-Spell Fragrance is saying no to pendulums, and it's kind of counterproductive.
Okay, it does make sense.
Yeah.
In that regard.
No.
Well, I think everyone that doesn't play it will disagree with you.
Probably.
I actually don't disagree with you. I agree, but it's not on my list. It's not a priority card for me to actually put it to 1, man. Oh, man. Pendulums all the way, man. Pro Pendulum.
Yeah.
No, I'm not like that.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it needs to be hit, but if it does get hit, I wouldn't be too surprised.
Right.
It is counterproductive, and considering that they're pushing out so many pendulum decks, like if you think about booster packs recently, there are so many more pendulum cards than you would ever expect there to be.
Yeah, no, we're transitioning into the pendulum era of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, like from like Duelist Alliance, there was like what Performables, Odd Eyes.
Yeah, we had like barely any.
Yeah, there's barely, and then like slowly it's like the set list is filling more and more with pendulums. So pendulums are a thing. I'm just wondering what's the next thing after it.
I don't want to think about that. I'm still learning pendulums, man.
They're just gonna be the next thing for people to hate.
Yeah,
basically. Oh man, it's the thing that goes through every phase for people.
Right, like how people didn't like
synchro summons. Oh my exceeds. Oh, you're hurting my head. You're hurting my brain.
No.
Oh. Okay, well that's fair.
Your limits?
I have a limit. Well, I'm keeping 1 card limited by the courtesy of Konami.
Okay.
Skullcrobat Joker. I'm not moving it. There's actually several cards I'm not moving. I'm not moving Luster Pendulum, and I'm not moving Skullcrobat. As much as I did not like the emergency ban, the main thing I did not like about the E-ban list was the timing of it. Mainly it was just timing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the people in Europe, they probably got it the worst because their closest YCS was YCS Prague.
Right.
They didn't even get a chance to play it. Like, why did... Oh, what? Do you know how you could have made the player reception of that list even worse? is if they hit it before YCS Atlanta.
Yeah.
If they hit before Atlanta, do you know how many people would be pissed about that?
Yeah.
They made the list exactly the day after Atlanta.
Right.
So, okay. Well, think about it.
They had
They had that, right? But yeah, I put Skull Crobat. It's my reasoning is, first of all, it's like Stratos. Stratos got limited to 1 because it was a +1, but this is a +1 to more decks than.
Sure.
And it also fetches bigger utility.
Okay.
Luster is still to 1 for me because Luster is a very strong card. Even if you put Skull Crobat to 1 and you put Luster at 2, Luster and Pendulum Sorcerer, it's like nothing happened to the deck.
Sure.
That, like, when you do that play, it's still really broken. And you still can do that play. It's just you don't get it up as frequently.
It's just not as consistent.
Yeah, it's not as consistent.
I'm not going to agree with you on the Skull Crobat Joker. On my, we'll talk about that later, but I actually have Skull Crobat going to 3. The card I do have limited is Wisdom Eye Magician.
Wisdom Eye.
Right? So I don't want Pendulum Magicians to be at full power because I think that the engine with Pendulum Call, Dragon Pulse, and Dragon Pit, I think it's still very strong. I think that Wisdom Eye is more or less like
it's
the power.
It's the power card, yeah.
Because it gets you either Dragon Pit or Dragon Pulse.
And you put 2 on scale, you have Trapeze Magician. In other words, you are ready to OTK.
Yeah, it's a level 4, so much synergy just with the deck and the utility of it and its ability to make rank 4 exceeds. I think, and it's a spellcaster. You can make Trapeze Magician with it too, right? You're not even restricted.
Yeah, that OTK I just mentioned.
Yeah. No, so I have Wisdom Eye going to 1.
Okay.
On the condition that Skull Crobat goes to 3. If Skull Crobat stays at 1, then Wisdom Eye will stay at 3. So it's
not as consistent, right? Mm-hmm. And Pendulum Call doesn't let you pop it. So
right.
It's a lot slower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other limits for you?
I am going to unlimit 2 cards. Like, take 2 cards off the ban list.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's hear it.
One is Construct. Yay, Shadow players.
Construct. Oh my god.
I'm saying Construct. It does make sense to put Construct back.
I mean,
it doesn't do too much. I mean, Construct got banned because it was obviously overplayed.
Right.
And well, no one's playing Shadow now.
I think
giving them this 1 bone might make people play Shadows, and sure, they can still play Clowns and stuff. And they're all spellcasters, which means they have OTK still. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm kind of regretting my decision of putting Construct back here. So, screw you, Shadow players. Construct stays banned.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're...
Sorry, my bad. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, holy crap, I felt like I was drunk when I made this list. But the other card, I don't think anything you want to add on that before I go to the next one?
Just that I don't think they're going to bring back anything from the Duelist Alliance era. Okay. I don't think Graf is going to come back to more than 1. I don't think Seer's going to go back to more than 2. I don't think Scout's going to come back to more than 1. Towers isn't coming off. Construct's not coming off. Yeah. Sacrifice isn't coming back to more than 1.
Man, I wish Sacrifice came back. Holy crap.
Absolutely not.
Sacrifice?
Absolutely. It has sack right in the name.
I felt like I was being a troll there for the Shadow players.
Okay, what's your other limit?
Okay, the other one is Solemn Judgment. Ooh.
Solemn
Judgment. Yeah. Okay, life points. Okay, paying half your life is still a big deal. I mean, think about hero players. When they play a hero lives, you're like, oh man, if that card fails, it's over. Luckily, Solemn Judgment never fails.
Sure. Yeah.
Unless you get wiretapped, then
no one's playing wiretap right now.
Then you got owned by a guy playing wiretap.
Sure.
Or like even a guy that can pay like a quarter of your life.
We have Ariadne.
Okay, now see that's where it comes in. Ariadne is a card, and paying half your life to negate summons, spell or trap.
Yeah,
is pretty good, but it makes you run Ariadne, and Ariadne is not a very consistent card. A lot of people have argued that Ariadne is one of the. It makes like, do you want to put her on the scale or do you want to blow her up? And if you blow her up, you can only summon her back, so you can't put her back on the scale. So that's that's a little like the dilemma that people go through when they play Ariadne. And if you draw Ariadne and you have counter trap, so you can also pop it. Do you pop it?
Right.
So like, there's a lot of counterintuitive plays, and that's what people say Ariadne is not consistent. Only a skilled player would play Ariadne to its fullest capacity. I wouldn't say like anyone could play Ariadne.
Yeah.
And that's why Solemn Judgment Solemn Judgment, like, I guess requires your judgment to choose whether or not to activate it, because it is half your life, and basically it allows a lot of things to OTK you at that point.
Sure.
But if that card you use it against, better be worth it. Better counter something, like better prevent something bad from happening.
So you have to read the situation.
Yeah. So it's a very skillful card to play, I think. I mean, if a noob played it, they'd be like, "Ha, Solemn Judgment, your pendulum call." Okay, pendulum scale, attack for game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Okay, fair point. Any other limits?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay, so I have one other limit.
What?
Okay, this is kind of funny because I think 2 ban list videos ago, you were advocating for this card to come back, and I said, you were advocating for this card. Oscar was talking about Harpy's Feather Duster. I called both of you guys crazy, but I actually think that Heavy Storm can come back to 1. I mean,
I don't care about this card too much.
Looking at the meta right now, I'm not seeing any really back row heavy decks. I mean, the closest thing we're seeing is like Magispector, or maybe Cosmos that play a bit more back row, Pepe that plays a bit more back row.
Cosmos play a lot of back row right now. They play triple Call, the Haunted.
Okay, Call, but I don't count Call as back row.
Okay, come on.
Call's a card that they want to kill you with. Or to abuse Tin Can,
whenever they use Call, you're gonna die.
I guess, but I'm not worried about it.
Okay, fine, fair enough.
But like, I don't see Heavy Storm as being too much of a problem, especially with Twin Twister running around now. Like it's so much easier to clear back row. It's so much easier to clear scales. We don't have to worry about Plush Fire being abused with Heavy Storm. The closest thing we have to worry about is, as we just talked about, Ariadne, and Ariadne is not a very consistent card. All right, so I think there's room for Heavy Storm to come back. I'm not saying I think it must come back, but I think it should come back, and I wouldn't at all be surprised if it did.
Okay, fair point. I don't really care about that card.
Yeah.
Well, actually, now that you speak of that card, I actually have one more card to actually put on. Well, actually 2 more cards on my limited list. I'm putting Cosmo Dark Destroyer at 1.
Dark Destroyer.
We
already touched E-Telly.
No, they can die a little further.
Oh, okay? So you want to kill Cosmo?
They're not gonna die.
Okay, no, but you want to hurt.
I want to hurt Cosmo
players.
a little more. Just a little.
All right, okay, but
I'm also hurting Mermail players too with one more card on the list, which is Atlantean Dragoons.
You have Dragoons going to 1.
Yeah, I have Dragoons going to 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes my list funnier, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, because like Cosmo Dark Destroyer, like let's be honest, like most of the Cosmo ships you can recycle them. I don't think anyone likes dealing with double Dark Destroyer. It's a very hard to outboard. Mm-hmm. Well, not for Monarchs. Monarchs, you have a Rebus.
Rebus, yeah.
Rebus is just go back to the deck.
Yeah.
You don't belong here.
Yeah, and it doesn't target. So.
And it doesn't target, so you can shuffle it back. It's like having Ignister, but then considering that one of the outs is harder to get out now, Ignister. Ignister is very hard to get out.
Okay.
Not very hard, but less likely to come out.
Yeah.
And then you have a Rebus. A Rebus you can only handle 1. But if you put 2 Dark Destroyers, what now?
I guess.
It's pretty annoying. Like a double Dark Destroyer being one of the more prominent win conditions I saw at regionals in Seattle. Seeing how Oscar outed it was pretty amazing. That was pretty crazy, especially with only 1 Ignister. That was an epic play. Yeah, that's why I put Dark Destroyer at 1. And thing is, you play Tin Can, you put it into the graveyard, call the Haunted back, you can Cosmo Town it back to your hand.
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot of ways to actually recycle the same copy.
The deck is... That's the way the deck plays.
Yeah.
So
that's why I have that one. I put Atlantean Dragoons at 1 because who wants to give free pluses? Neptabyss nets such hard pluses.
Sure.
And promotes really heavy OTK. I think if we're going to move towards a slower format, Dragoons should go to 1. I actually wanted Dragoons to go to 3 in like a previous ban list. And Diva too. Like, wow, I'm such an idiot. But I'm putting these guys at putting Dragoons at 1 just so that Neptabyss, sure, you can dump 1 Dragoons and add another card, but it has to be another card.
Okay.
And you'll still get another search too. You're still getting a double search. Sure. Rather than giving you a triple search, which sounds absolutely stupid. Like, Straddle searches for 1 card. Neptabyss can net you 3.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, that doesn't sound very fair.
If you say so. Alright.
Okay, we're gonna move on to semi-limited cards. I actually only have 2 cards.
2? Yeah, I also have 2. But ours are probably different.
Probably. So there was one card I did not mention from the emergency ban list that should stay the same, and that's Monkey Board. The reason being, Monkey Board rather than like Skullcore Bat, like Skullcore Bat could go for magicians and whatnot, is because Monkey Board is really new. That's one of the reasoning.
Okay.
And also the second reason behind Monkey Board is bad players always screw up with Monkey Board. They actually brick their scales with Monkey Board.
Yeah.
You can't screw. Okay, the one card you can't screw up with is Skull Bat. Skull Bat's like summon, done. This one is if you leave it on the scale, you can actually kill yourself.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of Peppy players that at regionals and even at locals that play monkey board, pop their lizard draw, and they're stuck with the monkey board. I'm like, well, I don't have to have fun with the monkey board. You have no scale. You're dead. So monkey board being so new, it also like gives reassurance to the buyers, I guess, of the game, because monkey board was the newest card on that list.
But I mean, it's a common. Like,
okay, sure. Like just saying like hitting like I can't even think of anything else like a common. But like sure, it's a common, but doesn't mean it doesn't have value. I mean, I guess.
I mean, like I have a page of them at home.
It just makes us feel like new cards are not worth purchasing because they can get immediately touched if people deem it as tier 0.
I think we're past that point, honestly.
I know.
I think with the fact that we had an emergency ban list at all, already kills that sentiment. So I don't think that bringing it back to 2 is going to suddenly restore consumer confidence at all.
It's a good step though.
It's a step, but I don't think it's a step they're going to take.
Well, monkey board,
it's a possible step.
Well, the other reasoning being that bad players can brick themselves with the scale.
Sure, yeah,
that's
no,
pretty
I
legitimate.
think that's fine.
And since monkey board is like, see, that's the drawback of monkey board is if you don't know what you're doing with monkey board, you will lose. And sure, it's like a full scale with one card, but there are other cards that were full scale with one card. Clifford Scout. That's a full scale in one card.
Screw Scout. That's also limited too.
That's limited too. But Scout did something different though.
Yeah,
Scout searched for a lot. It was a once per turn search.
Yeah. Can you imagine if Monkey Bird was once per turn?
Then it would never brick. It would never brick, would it?
Anyways, any other semi-limited cards?
Bottomless Trap Hole.
Okay, yeah. So that's on my list too.
Okay, we agree on something.
Okay.
Once again,
once.
rare occasions where Kenny and I agree. Bottomless Trap Hole should come back. Okay, it didn't see very much play in the last 2-3 formats actually.
Yeah, no.
Like Necros format, you didn't see it very much because, well, putting bottomless means you can get trished.
Yeah.
Necros format punished you for basically holding cards in your hand.
Or on the field.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Like you either play nothing, so you can't get.
Well, I mean, you could have played like Trap Trick, Triple Nightmare. But like,
you play chainable stuff.
Yeah.
You don't play stuff that requires a trigger. So during that format, bottoms didn't get much action. Second card, second reasoning is the current format, Peppy. Peppy is supposed to be really good. Why aren't people playing bottomless? Because Twin Twister's a thing. Twin Twister just ruins half the game. I honestly wanted to limit Twin Twister just to include.
It's too new for that.
It's too new for that, but I can actually see. I wouldn't be surprised if Twin Twister actually got hit. But I'm not putting it there yet.
No,
I'm not putting it
eventually there. It might, but I don't really see it.
It is like the difference between having 2 MSTs and 1 Twin Twister. Like sure, a Twin Twister has a cost, but that basically meant any card in your hand was another MST.
Yeah.
And having 2 MST means you drew literally 2 out of 40 out of your deck.
Right.
So huge difference there in terms of like consistency. Like if you had 2
Twin
MST,
Twister is way more versatile than MST.
Way more versatile, and especially with the cards that you dump into the graveyard, you can synergize. It's literally just 2 for 1.
Yeah.
There you go. But Bottomless Trap Hole, Rafflesia.
Yeah. So the other card I have semi-limited is Book of Moon. I don't really care about Book of Moon. It's still a neg 1. And honestly, I don't see it as being powerful at all in this format. It might have been a concern in past formats, and that's why, like, the reason it was limited before at all.
Book of Moon's actually a very skillful card to play because it is that neg 1. I actually have Book of Moon on my list somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah, but like Book of Moon going to 2 or 3, does it really matter? Like, is anyone even playing Book now when it's at 1? No, nothing's playing it, so.
But I do remember a format where there was triple Book of Moon. It was actually very fun. It was actually very fun on both ends. Whether you got Book of Moon because you tried to do a combo, but then you had your own book to stop them from comboing, and you actually got a chance to flip your monster.
Right.
Shaddolls would be pretty happy.
I get.
Who
flip summons Shaddolls now?
There's
never a chance.
If you do manage to get out, like, I don't know, like you Falco a guy back and you flip him down and you flip him again. Oh my god!
No. Alright, yeah, alright.
But Shaddolls would be pretty happy with it.
Sure.
I mean, they could summon a guy out and then when you attack it, you book it until you get the other effect.
Yeah, okay.
It's legit. Yeah. It's not that bad.
It feels like a goat format thing where you like flip Moth and then they try to kill it and then you book it and then you book your Moth and then you get another spell card back.
Yeah, exactly.
No. fun stuff, but
Good times.
Not something that I see happening in this format.
Okay, let's move on to unlimited cards. What do you got? I don't have very much on mine. I
have a lot of cleaning up, but nothing really significant. So 3 unlimits that I have: Advanced Ritual Art. Do you really like?
No, very sure.
No. Dragon Ravine. Anyone now? Cricket noise.
No, let's keep it at 2. Just so Dragoonides players just stay salty.
That's so unnecessary.
Where's the salt shaker?
Yeah. And Tragodia.
Well, you got 2 of mine.
Okay.
One was Dragon Ravine.
Yeah.
I don't think. Why is it there?
No idea.
I felt like I just like
it just hasn't been
aged like a year, and
Yeah.
then I don't even know why I put something. It's like I put something away, and then I look at it again.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things on the ban list that could move around, but that's a topic for another day.
That's a fun topic. But Tragodia. It's a
Trigg.
decent hand trap.
I guess.
For what though?
Exactly. No one's gonna play Tragodia.
Tragodia. Okay, the thing is, people expend their hand quite frequently now, especially in the pendulum format. Tragodia, you'll rarely see a Tragodia that's really big. Now, even Monarchs expend their hand too. Now, old Monarchs, I would understand why Tragodia was was like fat, because Tragodia was like 24 or 3K.
But like old Monarchs and new Monarchs, there's like no similarities.
Yeah, there's no similarities. Like the spell engine. The Monarch spell trap engine is really strong. The Squire engine is also very, very good. But all of it require you to put stuff in your graveyard, and hold spells and traps. What's the point of having Tragodia? Tragodia is weak sauce. He chump blocks one hit, and what are you gonna do now? He's dead.
No,
like, unless you want to play Tragodia as like a nice tech, and like you don't want to run the full power of locking someone's extra deck, you would turn Tragodia into what, a level 8. Tragodia copies levels, right?
Yeah.
And then you have your other Monarch. You overlay for what? What do you got to overlay?
Zombie Steins.
Okay, Zombie Steins. Attack per game. Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I don't see like very many creative ways to use Tragodia. Actually, Tragodia might be running one. No, yeah, one deck.
What
Psyframe? They actually maintain a big hand size for one.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
And they can actually use his potential a little more because they synchro. That's it.
You know
that's
what?
It.
All right.
That's it. That's me trying to pull it as far as I can go.
Okay. All right. Any other unlimits?
Book of Moon. We already talked about this.
Yeah.
Book can go to 3. It'd be a very fun flip-flop format.
Okay, so my unlimits. I talked about Skullcrabat a little bit earlier, like the thing about Wisdom Eye. So if Wisdom Eye goes to 1, or if Skullcrabat goes to 3, Wisdom Eye going to 1. Balance out the Pendulum Magician engine. Another unlimit, I have Atlantean Dragoons. I know he has Dragoons going to 1. I actually have Dragoons going to 3. I think that...
Why do you like this OTK so much?
I think it's a good boost for Mermails. I'd like to see them...
Mermails are very strong.
Yeah, but... I'm not putting Diva at 2 or anything. Diva at 2 would be stupid. But
does it matter that Diva's not at 2 when you have Dragoons at 3? I mean,
yeah.
Dragoons search Diva.
Yeah, but if you have an outlet,
what's not an outlet? Like MST Dragon Ice Pascal would be like, yeah, Dragon Ice, man. They put out like Mister.
I don't think Dragon Ice is a very common card in Mermail.
Yeah, I mean, that was his tech, but then it was his argument. His argument of why is better than Ignister.
Then again, didn't he think that like Screech triggered Mermail or Atlantean?
Don't remind me. That was funny.
Shout out to you, Pascal.
Yeah.
And then last card that I have unlimited, Honest. Absolutely.
Honestly,
I think it's time. Honestly, I think it's time.
God.
I think it's time.
Every ban list.
I think it's time for Honest to come back to 3. I mean,
let's see it.
There's no light decks.
What are you talking about? Cosmos has lights.
Oh, okay. Cosmos a light deck, but do they play Honest at all? No.
The Saki ones do.
Yeah, no, but no one really plays Honest. And I mean, what are you gonna Honest now? And does it really matter? I just want Honest at 3, man.
You can Honest with Monarchs as well.
I didn't actually think of that. I'm gonna go try a new build later, guys. I'll see you guys on Dueling Network.
Summon idea, attack, Whoa, what? He's attacking with ID. What a scrub. Honest. Oh, by the way, you're dead.
See, exactly. All right,
oh
so
my god, no.
honest at 3.
Triple honest formats are always kind of. Okay, as much as I hate the idea of it because I play through like a triple honest format and honest one from 3 to 2 to 1.
Yeah.
And back to 2. And it's
now
I think
back
it's,
to 3.
No, I think it's at a good spot at 2.
No, I'll see you guys on Dueling Network, MST.TV Nishi. I'll be testing out Monarchs
Honest.
with double honest because I haven't seen it.
Like,
done
what are
yet.
you outing with honest?
No.
Like before there
I
was
just want
like
honest
before there
at
was
3.
like towers. Okay, outing towers made sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like killing off Jin.
Sure,
Why not? But what? Why?
just for fun. I think it's something new to play around with.
Okay. I don't know. I don't really care too much. It does make the attacking dynamic with light monsters a little more diverse. So
That's what I was thinking.
I always try to give both sides of the perspective. But you're making me you're making me stray away from that. I'm like, fuck your triple honest.
No, come on, man. The people want to see triple honest again. The people, the people being me.
What would you build?
I don't know.
Is there a deck that you would build with triple honest aside from Lightsworn?
That's
like saying Card Trooper should go to 3.
So people, I don't care.
So people can do Troop Doop Scoop and run honest, and then run the Lightsworn build, so they have triple honest.
Okay, then Card Trooper to 3 too. Sure, why not? I think we're just being silly at this.
Yeah, we are being pretty silly at this point.
But yeah, honest to 3, guys. Let's make it happen.
So what do you think should be in the upcoming ban list? I know it's not that far away. It's like 1 or 2 months away. So it could be March, could be April.
Yeah, we're giving it to you guys a bit early, but
you guys can think about it.
Yeah, we want to give you guys a perspective. Maybe we'll drop another ban list video like in a month or so if there are significant changes to the meta and we feel that
Well, the only thing coming out is High Speed Riders.
Wing Raiders.
Yeah, Wing Raiders.
What are you talking?
Sorry, they're along the same set of the Secret Forces and
okay.
High Speed Riders, and of course now the Wing Raiders.
Right.
Like they're not part of the core set, so you guys know.
But maybe something different will happen in the meta between now and then. Maybe like Jeff Jones or something will come up with some new broken ass deck, and we'll have to change our predictions.
See, there's Yu-Gi-Oh players, and then there's Jeff Jones.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
so what do you think should be in the ban list? What should be banned? What should be limited? What should be unlimited? What do you think should come back? Do you think
do you agree
Magical
with
Scientists should come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you also agree that Honest should be back at 3?
Leave a comment down below. Of course, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. You know, we have a lot of silliness now in our ban list prediction thanks to this guy. And well, if you want to see more stuff from MST.TV, please subscribe. Doing videos, deck profile, speaking of deck profile, we are doing deck profiles. It's just Oscar's away right now. That's why you don't see him very often.
Right.
And he's working. I'm working.
I'm at school too.
Oh, you're at school too.
Yeah.
You're still at school?
Yeah.
Please give us a subscription if you like our videos.
Yeah.
And we try to do weekly videos as much as we can. Like, I work full time. I have overtime like every day, and I work on videos once a week.
Yeah, we get it in when we can, right?
Yeah, that's what we do. And as always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV.